You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us studs. I'm Blaze.
I'm Meech.
High school days and university bays is what we're getting into this week. So let's get into it. Homie, drop the beat. This is Two Studs in a Pod. We're just a couple of studs keeping it real, raw, and off the cuff, and we'd like to welcome you to the show. Our high school and college days are pivotal points in life, especially for those of us that realize that we're gay. So this week we're flashing back to our past and getting into being baby studs in class. But you already know how we do. Meech, how's life been treating you this week?
Man, life has been testing me this week. Dealing with some family things that's going on. Realizing firsthand how the world is not really fair to us black and brown folks. But on a brighter note, it's my last week in the office, so I'm excited about that shit. Can't wait to get out of there. Got people coming up to me talking about, yo, we're so jealous. I wish we were leaving too. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I know. So, excited about that. Ready to start something new. I didn't want to wait too long. I took a couple days off, but I'll be starting the new job pretty soon. So,
I know that's always like a hard thing to decide, right? Like, do I take some time now or do I just go ahead and get into it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I took a couple days, just to get a little break, but I've been preparing for this for a couple months. Like I've been going to like all my doctor's appointments, to the dentist. I've been doing that shit. Like I knew I was leaving. So I took care of everything that I needed to take care of. So now I'm just ready. What you been up to?
Working on the landscaping and things like that. I got inspired to do something with my office, like my home office, and change it around and do things like that. So I got me a little fish tank. So I'm about to put that together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I was already in the fish tank, but I never did like the live plant thing. So I'm gonna do that. Which I don't know. I've always had fish tanks, and so
right.
But so doing this is something different. I want to try my hand at saltwater too. So I'm planning on putting like a big giant saltwater one in the living room.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah. So I saw the tank that I want to buy, but I just gotta work myself up to spending that kind of money on a fish tank.
Saltwater tanks are expensive.
Or just big tanks in period. You know what I'm saying? For like what it is. But yeah, so I've just been redoing my office and things like that, getting the fish tank stuff together, learning about that. I'm like a hobby whore. You know what I'm saying? Like I get into things. So like speaking of another hobby, like when I'm reselling, I have all my stuff everywhere from reselling. So I kind of slowed down on that. And which I do want to get back into it, but it takes a lot, especially from where I am right now to do that. But I still have all my merchandise, you know what I'm saying? Like my products. So I need to go through that and see what's up. So I bought like some organization things. I'm trying to get organized in my life, you know what I'm saying? And see what little change I can make while I'm doing it, and bring a little zen into my office with my little fish tank and things like that. And it was my dog's birthday, like literally my dog's birthday. So we had a little birthday party for her, and she got a cake and everything. I was like, yes, man, outrageous. But other than that, working outside and working. So let's go ahead and get into green peas then. And this is where we get into a few of the books, shows, podcasts, trends, or whatever else is new and exciting we've discovered. So what's been keeping you entertained this week, Meech?
So I've been reading, of course. I got back into the reading thing, had some more time. So I checked out a couple books. One, The Magic of Thinking Big, by David Schwartz. That book is just about like thinking big in everything that you do, and then kind of forcing yourself to do those things and giving yourself timelines. So, kind of a motivational book, just helping me with, the track that I'm on right now in life. And then staying with, with that theme. I read Make Your Bed. It's by by an admiral. Like he was a Navy SEAL and an admiral and all these different positions in the military. So he's basically just talking about like doing hard things, but the hardest thing for some people is just getting up every day and making their bed. So if you can do that consistently, what other things can you do consistently? Um, and then the other book that I read was The War of Art. So it's another book about just kind of staying motivated and staying focused on what you have to do, especially for artists, like people who are into like music and or movies or writing, anything like that, tend to get sidetracked easily,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of one of those other books that help you stay focused. So I like to read things like that when like I feel like I have a lot going on and I have so much that I want to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of reminds me of like how to stay on track and stay focused, do keep kind of a routine and stuff like that.
Look
Yeah,
at
but
you
other than
all
that,
grown and shit.
yeah, trying to be a grown up, trying to be responsible. It sucks, but and then my usual podcast that I listen to keep me motivated also. So what you been into? I haven't seen any new shows. What you got for me?
Well, I discovered and I watched like every episode of at this point a show on a YouTube joint called Ask Real Queers, and it's basically like a discussion panel, but full of queers of all kinds from the rainbow, black queers. In Johannesburg they were, and they were also in London. So of course I'm listening because my London thing, but
Yeah.
um yeah, so they just ask like real questions and they have like real conversations. It's mimicked kind of after like a reality show where they're all together and then they have like their own like individual thought about whatever the conversation is afterwards. Like they're in the dark room by themselves reacting to the film or whatever. But so that makes it interesting. But it's definitely I like the questions and I just like the vibe that you get from that show. So I've been definitely into that, and that's definitely been keeping me entertained. I'm all caught up on that one, so I'm hoping to find some other stuff. I'm all caught up on all my YouTube shows at this point, so if y'all have anything new, please let me know. And now let's get into what we've got cooking this week in stewed peas. They say the days of high school and college are the best days of our lives. Living carefree, bill free, and worry free, unless, of course, you come to the realization that you're a part of the LGBT community. These days, it isn't rare to find an out kid proudly displaying their queerness in the halls of high schools across the country, or to find a gay and lesbian centered fraternities recruiting members of the campus of a major university. Meech, we know that you came out like way after high school, but while you were in college, what was it like for you? That's when you were finally like on your own, kind of like feeling your little rainbow
Yeah.
vibes, right?
Yeah, definitely. um it was like I was trying to find the gays at that point, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to find the groups and
Test that
stuff like
gaydar
that.
and shit, right? Like, is this shit for
Yeah.
real or what?
I was hitting on girls and trying to talk to them, and there was in cuz I'm not traditional, so I went to like 3 colleges before I decided what I was going to do. So in my final college that I graduated from, there was actually a LGBTQ group, and I joined, like I joined that group, but of course there was always more guys in it than girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I made some friends, kept some connections. It was cool. I actually still talk to one of the guys today. We're still Facebook friends and all that good stuff. So it was cool to finally be around people and just being in Manhattan because I went to school in Manhattan. So that was just different. You would see LGBTQ people everywhere. So it just felt like home. Um, but yeah, I remember, hitting on the girls for sure. Like I was more comfortable. Of course, all the Dominican girls from Dykeman in the Bronx that I shouldn't have been talking to. Um, Trouble. That's what it was. It was trouble. Another, I don't know. It was fun though. It was fun. Like I started feeling myself, but I wasn't really. I think in college it was different because I didn't stay on campus. So it was harder for me to kind of like be with the groups, but I would stay late. Like we would cut class and go to TRL and shit like that, like all the time, and just be gay in the streets in New York. You know what I mean? And having fun. Yeah, I just dated myself by saying TRL, right?
Yeah. I was like, I just imagine you out in front of that big ass window, like
yeah,
waving
yep.
at Ashanti or some
106
shit
in
like that.
Park. Yeah, if you look real close on like a Nicki Minaj episode, you'll see me on 106 in Park. Yeah, so like it was more like being out in the streets of New York that, you know, was fun for me, and I was more around gay people. Like we would just it was just a group of us, and we would hang out and we would chill and we would talk to each other and, you know, talk about relationships, talk about girls, talk about guys, just being gay. And it was, I don't know, it was like the beginning of me coming into who I was and seeing what, you know, how much fun we are
Yeah.
just as a community, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. Oh yes.
Seeing all the drama too, you know, there was drama. Like we used to cut class and go to this place called Barcode, which was like a grown up Dave and Buster's, and just go play games, just chilling and having fun. I know. I mean, it just felt I just felt comfortable at that point, you know? Like New York is a good place to be who you are.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah, if you can't, like those kids from the country, they can't be gay where they're from. You know what I'm saying? They could
Right.
definitely be gay in New York. Like, you just think of freedom in New York. You don't realize there's just so many people. Like, nobody even gives a shit because
Yeah.
there's just too many people to care.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, high school was a interesting place. Because especially coming out so young, you know, I had like straight girls flirting with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like me and this one chick, we had our own special Valentine's Day. So here I am dealing with that situation, and we had a gay straight alliance. You know, like
Oh.
at one point in time, I became the president of the gay straight alliance.
Oh snap.
So yeah, like I was gay in high school. I was definitely flag repping. And I mean that for me, like the confidence and not the confidence, but just like the feeling like I could do that and be free came from this dude that he was a junior when I was a freshman. And it was like a whole gang of us that we used to hang out together. And he was flamboyant, gay dude, okay? And he just didn't care. He was just himself, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
he would get talked about and shit like that in school, and he just didn't care. And it was because of hanging out with him and shit like that. I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I'm just out here gay as fuck. I When I first started, I had this long hair put in a ponytail. It was like a volleyball tournament, which I couldn't keep playing volleyball because of them fucking shorts.
Mm.
Those shorts were not not the
Short
business.
shorts.
Yes,
Short tight
short tight.
shorts.
Yes, I was like, no. I just watched some volleyball shit the other day, and I was like, see, that's why I couldn't keep playing volleyball because of them shorts. Like I was wearing basketball shorts, and everybody else was wearing them tight shorts, and I was like, I can't do that. So, um, my hair. I went to the game. The game. It was a 2-day tournament, right? So the first day I went, I had this long ponytail. And then overnight, I cut my hair off and had it dyed bleach blonde because Eve was out at the time. Talk about dating yourself, right? So Eve was out and she had that short blonde shit, and I was like, "That's what I'm gonna rock." So I cut all my little hairs off and showed up the next day to the basketball tournament. And I was out at school after that. Like everybody just knew
Mhm.
from that from that moment on. So I mean, in high school, and then being part of the Gay Shit Alliance, like they had field trips. One year was like a whole gang of the gay straight alliances throughout the county met up at this one place and had like a symposium, like a 3-day symposium. It was nothing but all the gay kids from all these schools meeting up in one spot.
I
Do you
wish.
know how much? I was like, yo, this is amazing. And yeah, so it was a good time. Like there was this one high school that was known as the gay high school.
Mhm.
And that was like my high school to go to for summer school. So I made sure I had a summer school class every summer because I wanted to be at the gay high school.
Yeah, you wanted to be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish, man. I
Yes.
wish.
Like,
now in high school we had like there were like some gay folks that were out, but it was like few and far between, you know?
mm-hmm,
And like I was in band, but I wasn't necessarily like a band geek, if you per se, if you want to call me a band geek.
mm-hmm.
So I didn't really hang out with the two guys that were gay that were in the band. You know what I mean? Like I was also an athlete too, but then the signs were there because you know, like I used to play softball, so I know some of my teammates in
Oh,
basketball were gay,
yes,
but nobody was really out when I was in high school. But I wish if there was some gay straight alliance or some shit like that, I probably would.
yes. And the Gay Straight Alliance was headed by a gay teacher in my school. We knew of at least 2 to 3 definitely out and proud gay teachers in our high school. Well, my high school was like a progressive at the time, like high school. Like only a select number of kids went to that school and shit like that. So, and there was a lot of trials and tribulations to even get to that school. But I mean, that's how it was. And then, but when I went to those other schools for summer school, it wasn't. It was like more kids, but you know, the gay kids were still cool. There was another school in Miami Beach that it was just a given that was a bunch of gay kids there. That was like the artsy fartsy, you know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Like the like the goth type of wearing clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like things like
Yeah.
that. So you just knew that and some of the other like magnet high schools that were for art and dancing and stuff like that. That was a given that you were going to find rainbow flags there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
high school for me was, I don't know. Once I came out and I was like confident and I felt like strong in who I was and just being gay and just being me, then
Mhm.
high school was, it was just fun. It was fun. Yeah. Especially I was like, yeah, it was. I was with all the older kids and stuff like that, and yes, and that's when I started sneaking in the clubs. Talk about not getting, talk about not getting any sleep. Okay. Yeah, I going to classes and shit. High school was definitely a good gay old time. And I didn't see, and I did college so late, so I was but when you were in college, I
Oh
was
yeah.
like out in the streets,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I did
working
college
already.
right after. Yeah. I mean, like now that I think about it, yeah. Like even some of my like teammates are out now. And it was just like I don't know why nobody came out in high school until these two chicks who weren't even from our high school came to the school. Like they transferred there like maybe junior year,
Hmm.
and you know, of course, new fresh meat, everybody's looking at them, and then they showed up to the basketball game with like their stud girlfriends, and I was like, oh shit, like I want to be your friends, you know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. I was like, oh shit, there's more gay people and they like they're studs. Like that's how I saw myself, but at the time I didn't really dress like that, you know what I mean? Like I always, you know, was dressed masculine, but I never really like, you know, I still had the long hair and all that shit, so I wasn't out or anything. But yeah, I don't really remember people in my high school being out. Otherwise, I think it would have been more of a good time. Because now that I think about all the people who are out, I'm like, yo, like nigga, like like we could have been doing so much damage in
Oh
high
yeah, I
school. You
think
know what I
about
mean?
all the
Like,
people like especially the dudes that are out now that are,
yeah,
and I've seen them out, you know what I'm saying, like on the street and
right.
doing, you know, being their own little flittery rainbow self. So I not so much the girls, even though one time when I changed my status on Facebook, I did
Mm.
get a comment by somebody who went back in the day, you know what I'm saying? In high school, like this chick was one of the chicks to like people would try to get with.
Hmm.
So when she was like, "What's good?" I don't know. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't bring my. I was like not interested at this point. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was
Hindsight's
that was
2020,
interesting.
boy.
I know. But that's just interesting that like I can't think of too many people other than dudes. Like I don't know any of the um girls that I knew in high school that are now gay that weren't already like gay in high school with me. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So because there was like a bunch of kids that were younger than me, the younger grades or whatever, that there was a bunch of gay, like they were just out and they
Hmm.
so and now of course they're just still out. So Yeah. Most of the time there was these dudes on the DL. That's what we had a lot of in high school.
Mm.
More so than dudes being out. Those dudes on the low. But you know, now
Fun
they're out and
fact.
about.
Speaking about dudes being on the DL, I have to tell y'all this story. So this dude that like we were friends. He was a year older than me, and everybody was like, "Yo, why don't y'all go out? Why don't y'all talk?" Blah blah blah. So I got peer pressured into like talking to this dude, and he got peer pressured into asking me out. But it didn't. It lasted like a week. Like so, nothing really came of it. But I found out a couple years later because I had beeped. Oh my god, I'm dating myself, bro. I had beeped my best friend and she was at his house and she called me back from his number and because she didn't recognize the number. I was at like my cousin's house or something, so I'm like, oh, where you at? She's like, yo, I'm at so and so's house, but she was lying to me. So I'm like, all right. I told my cousin, I'm like, yo, let's pull up, like, because she's dead ass lying, like, she's at this dude's house who I was supposed to be talking to for a week. So that was a no-go in high school. So we pull up and he's there and she's there, but he's there with another dude who was like the star basketball player.
Oh no.
And like all the girls wanted him. Like he was like the cutest dude in the school. Everybody wanted to be with him, blah, blah, blah. And this dude that I was supposed to be talking to is there with the dude. And like my best friend knew about them. And she was there with another female. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like, dudes on the down low. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I guess there were some dudes on the down low. I don't think that he ever came out though. Like I know the guy that I was talking to came out for sure. He's like somewhere in Atlanta right now, but but the other guy like who was a star basketball player, he I don't think he ever came out. I don't know what he's up to these days. That shit was wild though. Crazy.
As you said, talking about the dudes, I remember this was before I was out, still fairly young, but like my friend, well, this person, my neighbor from across the street, was dating this one dude, and he was a twin, and so the twin thought that the other twin, not the one she was talking to, thought that I was cute. So him and I would like talk. This was before I really knew I was like, I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is nothing's happening here. And so we were friends or whatever. He would come over and hang out at my house and we would chill. And, he like, I forget what it was that he gave me or what he was that he did, but he gave me something and then his mom and dad came over to my house and it was like this big ordeal. Come to find out that they were mad because they found out that the other brother, the other twin, was gay.
Oh snap.
Yes. And when they thought that I was a dude because of my name. So he kept saying was my name, you know what I'm saying? So they came over and were like mad thinking that their other son had given me a dude something, and now they had twin gay dudes on
Oh
their
Lord.
hands. Yes, okay, that was a rumble in the jungle, of course, because I still look like how I look. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't different then. It was just like maybe my hair was a little bit longer at that point. Maybe I had a crazy basketball ponytail, but other than that, I look the same.
Crazy high school stories.
Yes, now like you reminded me of that.
Yeah, man.
Freaking twin. I think I was his beard. He might have really been gay.
Yeah. I think yeah. It's so funny to me that me and the dude didn't work out because we were both like, yeah, we knew. We just I don't know. Scared to come out, I guess.
Yeah, I
High
mean,
school's tricky.
yeah, that's why I think my experience has been so like unique in that I was able to just be out like that in high school and not really have too much pushback anywhere except for like outside people. Like I remember riding the bus home from school when the little old ladies would be there with their Bible, reciting Bible verses to me, and I'm looking at them like, "What? Weird lady, get away from me! Like you gotta be out of your mind."
Oh God.
Yes. Or just random people telling me just need a man. I just
Right. You're
need
going
a
through a
good man.
phase. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so insulting and
I know.
disgusting.
I just haven't met the right man. I was like, okay. I was like, what? We're okay over here
We good
without
on this
that.
side.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, now let's get into Wild Peas, or the part of the show where we share and answer some of the most wild questions we've seen on the internet. This week's question is: you meet your 15-year-old self. You're allowed to say 3 words. What do you say?
Just come out.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think yeah. I think life would have been a lot. It would have been tough at first, but I think it would have been a lot easier because I would have been more me for a lot longer.
Hmm. Oh, that's deep right there, bro. Look at you getting all
Yeah.
powerful and shit.
What would you have said?
Uh, don't date her. Definitely. That would have been the one. Yeah. Because also, again, when I was in high school, I was dating somebody that was not in high school.
Oh damn.
Yes. So, and like, I think 15 is like prime high school age.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah. That set me down a path of a different path, I think. So, yeah, I would have definitely went a different way, I think, if I hadn't made some of the romantic choices I made, even that young. So,
Damn. Yeah. But you was a kid.
yeah.
Right.
You think you know what love is until you realize, like,
Right.
bitch, I'm being used.
Facts.
And I'm out. And on that note, I'm out. Yeah, bro. So I think that's what I would have. I mean, I can think of so many three word phrases to tell my 15-year-old self, like, because I think a lot happened. I have to actually do the math of the year of how old what year that was when
Yeah.
I was
What
15.
year, right?
Yeah. But, like my pops passed away and
Oh,
yeah, because, and just being out and facing the world on my own. Well, yeah, for a lot of time. So, yeah.
I think I
Shit.
would have also told myself, don't listen to mom. Because I was a good kid. I think I would have had a lot more fun if I was a lot more rebellious.
Yeah.
I could probably go on. What else would
Yeah.
I say?
I just do it. It's definitely,
Right? Listen
yeah,
to
like,
Nike.
just do it for sure. Like, don't be scared. Like a lot of shit
Smoke
when
the
you think
weed.
of smoke the weed. Well,
I waited till I was 18, I think.
yeah. I don't remember how old I was. I just know I was at a Bob Marley concert, so it was kind of fitting. I thought,
Nice.
yeah, interesting. It was like an interesting time because high school too. Like Miami was really getting popping with the music scene and shit like that. So there was a lot of like Little Wayne Cash Money action happening down here,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have these Bob Marley fests and Lauryn Hill, Erica Badu. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, I saw DMX,
Vibes.
Foxy Brown. Yeah, like outside at an outdoor spot, blazing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it used to be really lit, and that was just high school. So yeah, high school was good to me. Yeah. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Don't forget to follow 2 Studs in the Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Catch a glimpse behind the scenes, go follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech. And myself at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me Blaze 2 on Twitter. If email is more your thing, shoot us an email at 2studsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. The 2 Studs in a Pod is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and of course, tune in. And gratitude is always the attitude. So we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Ciao.